Hey everyone, it's Mikito again. I'm here to teach Tetsuji slash Joseki. It's pretty cool. It's very unnatural to me, so that makes me feel like it's high level. Because when I play Go, there's always feels like there's a natural way of playing. Like if I wasn't to do any reading, it would be my natural way, right? But anyway, we'll go over it. So this attachment on top, I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with it. In my own videos, I've gone over it a couple of times in various reviews and such, with the double approach and a couple of reviews for Romy, I think. So the normal move is definitely B. Most people play B. I've gone over A, where it's the Lee Chang-ho opening. I like the Lee Chang-ho opening, to be honest, but in order to play this way, you would want to have strength at least here. You'd want a stone or something over here. That's pretty strong to make this worth profiting, because white does get a huge wall. This is the very natural one. Let's see. I don't know if you're familiar with it or not, but it's very common. And once again, you'd want to have stones over here, because if white was to play something over here, black's not going to get all the points that he wants. It looks like a big corner, but it's really not, because it has a lot of openings. So I'm obviously not going to go over them because I have before. I'm going to go over the crosscut. This is something that I don't think I've ever seen anybody play. I could be wrong, you know, I've played a lot of games, so but it's definitely not common. I don't see people using this at all, but it's pretty cool. So talking about that natural way of playing Go, my natural thinking or move that I would do without even hesitating would probably be white one. It pokes up black shape. I know black's gonna move here, and then white has options. The first one is white can just kill this stone immediately, or white can play this way. I don't have materials for this, so all this came out of my head, where I'm like trying to figure out, in the material this is the move, but I was trying to figure out why white wouldn't want to play here. I came up with this, where black does the two step hane. White would protect himself. Black can protect himself, and then white can kill the stone or something, and it would end up something like this, which is pretty good for black. I think it's better for black, but it's still early, and white technically has a wall facing his stone, so maybe it's even, but I just feel like black stones are all working together. Anyway, and then there was, instead of playing this move, I was thinking maybe black could play it this way. If white plays this, I didn't really go over the variations too much, but it doesn't feel like, well, I guess it does kind of feel bad for black. Maybe black can't play here this early. Maybe black does have to connect, and then it could go something like this, where now this would be very dangerous for white to play this way, right? Because this is hurting a lot. It doesn't have two eyes, so white would have to come back. Okay, alright, I don't know, that's the variation, but we'll go back to the material, and the point is, when white plays here to kill this stone. Now this stone is dead no matter what. It cannot live if white plays well. But black wants to put another stone in there anyway to sacrifice it. When black plays here, he knows he's dead, but the reason he plays it is because now when he plays this, white can't play here and just kill this stone. White has to play here. And then when black plays this, This is bad shape, so white would have to come back and kill these two stones Black gets the Atari, and now black has taken this whole corner and made this really thick wall, and white also made a wall, but it just doesn't feel as good as black's position. And if people are wondering, well, white can just take here, right? Well, it's really not that great for white. White only gained 1 stone, and like black sealed himself off completely, so you wouldn't want to play that way. And this all stemmed from playing the very natural way. This is like, I'm sure a lot of people will play this way. I know I would if I didn't learn this stuff. So this is the very natural way of playing for the once your opponent crosscuts. White, we went over these options where I kind of made up some baloney about how this would go, and then we covered this, obviously. So now white has this move. Now this is another like test of your natural way of playing, in my opinion. In my game, I don't know if I would play this, but it definitely feels like it's tempting, right? White can play here. I'm sorry, black can play here. White would be an Atari, so he has to move here. Black threatens to play this move to play here to kill these two. But white can actually counterattack after this double tiger's mouth. If you didn't know, this is the tiger mouth shape. And then you have 1 tiger mouth and 2 tiger mouth, double tiger mouth. White can peep here though. White can Atari here. And then white comes back to make sure that if black plays here, these 2 stones aren't dead. So white kills this stone. So black would Atari, and now we're left with the end result. So this somewhat looks good for black, right? Because black has all this influence and possibly the corner. But the problem is A isn't dead yet. A still has a lot agi and like chances to live. And white ended up getting a nice solid thickness facing his stone, while potentially being able to make this into very little. And so I can go over some of the variations. If black was to play something like this, or you know, something to strengthen this 1 stone because he wants to keep this, white can play here to threaten to connect. Say black plays here. It looks like white could even get away with this move, but naturally I'd want to play the knight's move. And white would have to come back and do some ugly moves to live, but the fact is he's alive. I don't know the best move, but so black got cramped on both sides. He got sandwiched between this, and so this really is not a good result for black. Not at all. I don't like it. And it's all because of playing the natural way. This is like, this Atari is very natural. So the unnatural move, and the only reason I call it unnatural is because in my personal way of playing, I would not see this move being so good. I don't know how else to say that. I know my English didn't sound great there, but I wouldn't find this move. This move is like, I don't know what you would call it, but it's off my radar. So white Atari's here, and now black has a couple of options. If black naturally wants to save his stone, it creates an empty triangle, and it allows white to wrap up black. So white would play this way. White would threaten to kill. Black actually gets to take the stone. Because if white played here, then black would kill him, right? Dead. So white would actually play here. Black can't play here because it's self-Atari. And so he would have to take, and now white can Atari this way. So now black got a clump of wrapped up stones. His corner isn't as good as it should have been, and this stone is projecting out here so that black might not be able to make points over here. Plus white got a very thick wall, so this is very bad for black, and it's all because of this shape here. When white Ataris, black saves his stone. That's not good though. This is the correct move. Now white has obviously a couple of moves. He can, he can play anywhere. It's white's prerogative, right? But the natural moves would be either 2 or 1, right? I'll go over 1 first. Black would connect. White has 2 options, to double Atari or to try and kill all of them, which technically doesn't look like it would. But let's see. So black would connect. White will play here. When white plays like this way, this move here and this move, it's sacrificing these stones to get the wall. The problem with the sacrifice though is black has profited a lot here. He's gotten a huge corner and he has a chance to like come over here and like take more profit, right? On the 4th line. So this is just too big to give to black. So this is not a good way of playing. I mean, technically you do get a wall facing your stone, but black looks like he profited way more. White can play this way. Black would play here. White would finish this stone off to guarantee that he has eyes on either side. Black would cover his corner. And black ends up playing... White has to play these 2 moves to guarantee his life. So black ends up profiting by making a huge wall facing the outside center, and he's got like almost a guaranteed corner, and these 2 stones are like trash. They're really hurting bad. So this is just superb for black. Like, this is insanely good. So it all stems back to this Atari and white playing here. So this is the incorrect move, A here. Not good. So white naturally takes. Black gets to play here, and now white has 2 options. If he brings it to ko, so he's making the ko bigger by trying to kill this stone. Black's gonna take, and no matter what white does, there's no move on this board in the beginning of the game big enough for black not to take this. Now he has his guaranteed corner, he's got his outs over here, and he has like a lot of fighting power over here. So this is just way too good. So if white plays this way, black connects here, and now this stone is dead. And so black still got his big corner. He's got his outs over here, meaning he can like still stretch out here. And if white plays something like this, he can just make his corner that much more bigger. White does get outside influence, but it's just not, you can't, it's hard to compare it. Anyway, that's my going over this Tetsuji / Joseki, and it all stems from the playing attach and then cross-cutting. I hope you guys learned something. I hope when an opponent plays this to you, you'll have an idea of how you should play. And yeah, so good game. good stuff. Take it easy, everyone.